What's going on, everyone? Today's review is going to be Radiant Black number 8, and this was the final issue for the current story arc. And as a self issue by itself, 5 out of 5. As a story arc, 5 out of 5. Honestly, I didn't need to separate that because it's just a great. Kyle Higgins has been doing amazing with Radiant Black. I don't think there's an issue that I did not like. My least favorite was probably number 6, just because it was like a flashback origin story. But even so, it was a good story. Like I didn't want it, but it was. I still appreciated it. Real quick, the fast rundown of this. Um, the We get an origin for the white radiant, the glitch radiant. Um, a quick origin, kind of. It's not like how he became who he is, but more of where did he come from. And after that, we get a glimpse of Marshall and Pink Radiant. I think her name is Eve, but I'm not 100% sure, and I'm too lazy to go back and look. But I'm pretty sure her name is Eve, so I'm going to call her Eve. If that's wrong, I'm sorry. Um, I'll figure it out eventually. But Marshall and Eve catch their breath while they're in Russia. She needs to relax. She needs to get a little sense of normalcy. So they just kind of hang out outside of a restaurant. Marshall gathers some things for them so she can be warm, some coffee, things like that. Meanwhile, Wendell, which is the yellow radiant, and Satomi, who is the red radiant, they currently have the white radiant caught in a trap. White radiant's not going anywhere, and then they find out kind of what makes him tick. Um, at this point, Marshall and Eve go back to where they need to be in this fight, and it's perfect on time because White has escaped from his trap and he's defeating. Like, it's not even a fight. It's not a battle or anything. White is overwhelming Wendell and Eve. So not Eve. I'm sorry, Satomi, and but they get there just in time. And the way the fight ends is with existence coming out of Marshall's suit. Not the whole thing, just his arm grabs Glitch White and takes him back into Marshall's body. That did not expect that at all, but that's the ending of that battle. They survived it. Wendell suggests that everyone goes home, take a nap, get a long rest, and just try to figure out what's going on and wait for what's coming next, because they do know that something worse is coming behind White Radiant, and especially Eve and Marshall, who saw the planetary galactic war that was going on. So they have a lot of things to talk about. Marshall still does not like Satomi. He still wants to fight her, but Wendell squashes that, and that's the end. After that, we get kind of like a glimpse, almost like a end credit scene, um, a glimpse of some weird object out in the middle of nowhere, and we get a government agent and these two people opening it, and then we open it, it's just alien technology, and that's that's the end right there. So a lot, even though that was a quick wrap up, that's a lot that happened in one issue, and it is the conclusion of that issue. So again, 5 out of 5. That's what you're here for. Awesome. That's it. Make sure you comment, subscribe, let me know what you think. If you liked the book or if you didn't, I definitely recommend you pick it up if you haven't. So there's that. But now I'm going to be moving on to the actual detailed review of page by page kind of thing. I don't know, man. I pretty much said everything. But no, again, it starts off with the white radiant. He's in the middle of space. He's floating. It looks like his craft has been destroyed. So I don't know if he's against the robots or if he was part of the robot team. Who knows? What's your theory? Let me know, because I honestly don't have a theory at all. I'm just going along for the ride. I haven't come up with anything yet. But he's out there and he wakes up. His face mask is cracked. He makes his way into a good ship that's still working, and fires away. Goes, and I'm assuming that's when he goes to Earth and finds the Radiant, and because he throughout this whole issue he actually finally talks, and he's that if I had to choose something to be upset about with this issue, it's just the way he talks, which is not a bad thing. It's just very cryptic. He's not really explaining much. All he's saying is, "You guys are not worthy. You should sacrifice yourselves for even trying to be worthy. Like you have the suits on, you don't deserve the suits. Things like that. Like he's just not really saying much, but he's repeating it over and over. And it's like, all right, man, we get it. You don't like them. You already tried to kill them. We know you don't like them. So come on, man, like actually say something. But that's also on the flip side of that. That's also what makes it so interesting, right? So we see him just go off. Next page comes up. Uh, Marshall and Eve are still in Russia. They haven't gone anywhere. And Eve is like on the verge of a panic attack. She's saying it's not a panic attack, obviously, but she's on the verge of it. But Marshall does a great job of hearing her out and says, "All right, you need a sense of normalcy. Gotcha. Let's power down. Um, Look at I don't have a suit on. I have normal clothes. They are in Russia, so they don't speak Russian. So they have to figure out what to do." And they make their way into the city, and Marshall shows off his skills that he has that don't require a planetary or intergalactic suit or anything like that. He just starts stealing coffee. He steals a blanket, and like just comfort stuff for Eve. And then this is a really great moment where it's so many things are happening, but this is just a sweet small moment. It doesn't look like it's going to be like a romantic moment or anything like that. It can for sure. You can definitely jump to that conclusion, but it is just both of them talking and kind of just relaxing, not thinking about what's actually going on in a bigger sense. Um, they have a really good banter and back and forth, and in the end, uh, Eve has a better appreciation for Marshall. She still thinks he's a kind of an asshole, whatever, but um, he says his lame jokes, and they're so lame, they're amazing. I mean, they're so bad that I laugh out loud because of it. Um, but then we go back to Wendell and Satomi, who are interrogating the White Radiant at the moment. He's the Satomi used her powers to kind of engulf him and trapped him in a I don't know what was around him, but he's basically stuck. And he's just talking and biding his time. And in the end, he gets out and he gets invisible, does his whole thing, and he reveals that he basically gets his powers from them. So the more they power up, the more he powers up. Um, so that's kind of the worst enemy you can really have, right, at that moment. But he escapes and he just starts attacking them from all sorts of angles, from above them, below. It's not a fight. It's like I said earlier, it's not a battle at all. It's him overwhelming them, and it gets to the point where he stabs Satomi with a pole. I think, yeah, like with a pole straight through from behind to her through her stomach, through her abdomen. He puts some kind of device on Wendell that like just I think it pretty much puts him out of sync with his suit because he just couldn't concentrate. He's just out of commission. Um, I thought that Satomi was gonna die. Honestly, I mean they already killed off Nathan. What's another person, right? But she's quick on her feet. Survival mode is how the White Radiant um, calls it, but she starts to absorb things around her to try to like fix her wound, and it's not working. It's not enough. But then he stabs her again, and at this point, she grabs the sword that he stabbed her with, and that's a strong enough substance that she is able to go into that Hulkbuster mode, I guess, and immediately overpowers him and is able to crush whatever device was on Wendell to get him to get back into the battle. Wendell has like some light based powers. We haven't really seen much of it. We've seen him throw like little light beams, but this time he created. It reminded me of Naruto. He created a bunch of little light clones. You could tell that they were clones that were very transparent, but he didn't get a chance to actually do something with them before the White Radiant was able to escape. I think he like flew up or something, but he didn't do anything. I really wanted to see what he was going to do with these clones. If these clones were tangible or if they're just meant to intimidate, I guess. But either way, it's at this point that what's his name, Marshall and Eve make their way back. They start to get into a fight as well. And once they start fighting, Wendell tries to warn them, like, no, don't use your powers. That's how he gets his powers. And then White Radiant starts monologuing like usual. He starts talking about the new and old ways, and he's apparently, if I remember correctly, he is more about the new ways, and the old ways are a thing of the past. He reveals his name is 001, so I'm still gonna call him the White Radiant because 001 is pretty lame. No, I'm sure his name is gonna be something else, but that's what he said. I mean, that's what it showed. Like the little caret sign, 001 caret sign. Um, but it's good to get more stuff out of him. And then he plans to attack one final time. It looks like he's about to overpower all of them once again, but this time Marshall freaks out. A hand comes out of his body, like out of the suit, but it looks like it's coming out of his chest. And we can immediately tell that that's the arm of Existence, the robot that was inside of him, the robot that made a deal with him. And it reaches out, grabs the White Radiant, and just pulls him back into his chest. And Marshall, obviously not liking that, kind of kneels over. He's like gasping. He's freaking out. Eve, Eve, I think that we get a friend of mine pointed out that that's when we get the first F-bomb thrown. Eve is like, what the what was that? Like that was crazy. Nobody knows what's going on. But then Wendell kind of is able to gather everyone together and is just like, all right, it looks like he's not coming out. He's not escaping. Let's catch our breath. Let's all go home, relax. We can talk about all this. We can relay all the information that we have another day. Um, we're done here. And then Marshall, it's like, no, we're not done. And he's looking over at Satomi. He wants to fight her again. He's not forgiving her for what she did to Nathan, and it's 100% understandable. But uh, as soon as he tries to do anything, though, Wendell again hits Marshall with those light beams, and he says, "No, you're squashing this right now. This is not worth it." Um, the White Radiant is over here threatening our planet, and he's saying that we're the threat to the planet. And I mean, if the world's going to end, it's not going to be on us. It's not going to be on me. So we need to squash whatever we got, figure things out, and after that, if you still have a problem, deal with it, right? But deal with the bigger problem first. And I truly appreciate that. Voice of reason is always amazing to have in any kind of story, and I love that Wendell is that person. And then when I turned the page, that was it. That's the end of the story. They all kind of go their separate ways. They don't show them going their separate ways, but that's pretty much it. The next is just it looks like two farmers, uh, and a government agent, and that's it. They're going to this like unknown object in the middle of a field, and one of the farmers apparently is really good with technology. I don't know. He's like, I can get it open, and he does get it open. The agent sees it. He's happy to see it. They open it. They go inside, and it's a bunch of alien technology, which is great. Looks amazing. But that's where it ends. It kind of look one of the farmers, or I'm say farmer, but one of those people. He kind of gives me the vibe that he's going to be a bad guy. He's going to try to take advantage of this. They kind of show him like the evil supervillain angle of whatever. I mean, I'm just assuming a lot right now, but that's the end. It's just kind of a glimpse of what's to come. They have already teased a lot of other things, like the space robot war. Um, the White Radiant keeps mentioning some other things. We still haven't seen any of of existence of what's he gonna do. Are they gonna get their own like Megazords or whatever? We don't know. Um, but that's it. And that's the end of the issue. Again, 5 out of 5. We got a great conclusion. I mean, everyone wins in the end. It's a battle that they should not have won, but the way they won, it makes sense. It wasn't that they overcame it with the power of friendship and things like that. It was like, oh, we got lucky, and they know they got lucky, right? So it's a good conclusion in my book. The cryptic future of what's going to happen, I have no clue. Like I said, if you have an idea, please put it in the comments. I would love to hear it because I am absolutely lost on what it could possibly be. um, the scenes were great. The fight scenes are great. Very low dialogue. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. But in this one, the low dialogue with the fight scenes was perfect. I loved it 100%. And it's just, and then the small moments, between Marshall and Eve, that was a great moment. I think we need to remember that it's not just all action scenes, and that really brought it back down. That these are just people. Just because they have powers doesn't mean that they are equipped to deal with these situations. And they were just thrown into it. They didn't train their whole lives for it or anything like that. And this shows it. So I really appreciated that. I really have nothing bad to say. I mean, I can make fun of like, oh, the White Radiant's name is 001, but I have nothing actually bad to say about this story. 5 out of 5 for this arc. 5 out of 5 for this issue. That's it. Yeah. Again, make sure you comment, subscribe, like, whatever. If you didn't like it, let me know what you didn't like. And if you didn't like the video, let me know what you didn't like. If you didn't like the issues, let me know why. I mean, I cannot fathom anyone not liking this book, honestly. So if you don't like it, let me know. I would love to prove you wrong. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening. See you later.